It is Selena Travel, which, is our partner for Mongolia, and Ms. Batbold, who is the CEO for Selena Travel.
Hello, greetings from Mongolia. My name is Charlotte, and I am delighted to introduce you to my beautiful country, Mongolia, today. In the next few minutes, I'll be sharing a very clear but easy to understand overview of Mongolia, and I'll try to highlight what makes Mongolia such a unique destination. I hope that you find this presentation both informative and inspiring. Some of you may not be very familiar with Mongolia, so I would like to start my presentation with a few key facts about Mongolia. Mongolia is a country located in the Central Asia, and we're bordered by China to the south and Russia to the north. The whole country's population is about 3.5 million people, so we're a relatively small country, but we're also one of the largest landlocked countries in the world. Mongolia is also known for its vast open landscapes and very low population density. Our capital city is called Ulaanbaatar, and most of the international flights to Mongolia lands in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar. Now let's look at what makes Mongolia a unique destination. Obviously, one thing that Mongolia is well known for is our nomadic culture. About 30% of the whole country is still leading the traditional nomadic lifestyle, which makes it possible for everyone to meet and interact with the real nomads when they're in Mongolia. Another important and very interesting experience is our accommodation. When you travel to Mongolia, you'll have a chance to sleep in a traditional yurts. If you are in Mongolia in July or in September or October, you will also have a chance to catch one of our biggest festivals, including the Naadam Festival or the Eagle Festival in Western Mongolia. Lastly, I think it is very important to mention with the war that's going on in the Middle East and in Russia and Ukraine. Mongolia thankfully is not directly affected by all these conflicts, so which is making Mongolia a very peaceful and welcoming destination for many travelers for the summer and for the upcoming seasons. As mentioned before, we have many colorful and lively festivals in Mongolia during the summer and fall. So I would like to talk about the Naadam Festival, which happens every July, where you can see Mongolian traditional wrestling competition, archery, and horse races. As for the Eagle Festival, it happens in Western Mongolia, which is about 1,600 kilometers away from the capital. So it is a little ways out there, but you can reach the festival places by domestic flight. The Eagle Festivals happen only in September and October, and we have a few different Eagle Festivals, so you can choose depending on your travel dates. Now let's talk about how to go to Mongolia, because this is the most commonly asked question. How do we get there? Which city do we go through, and which airlines to go for? So let's look at from North America. So the best route to travel from North America, depending on the East Coast or the West Coast, the best ways to get to Mongolia is through Seoul or Tokyo or Frankfurt or Beijing, or my favorite one is to Istanbul. The airlines that you could book your flights through is shown here on the screen. The next most commonly asked question is best season to travel. So Mongolia has 4 seasons, and the best months to travel to Mongolia starts around in mid-May, and by end of September is the official ending of the season. Because in October the weather starts to drop really fast and we have lots of snow. So we usually advise our clients to travel in the warmer months. The next important topic about the logistics is transportation. The reason is I've been asked way too many times if I ride horses to my work or when I travel. So no, we do have roads and we use four-wheel drives when we travel out of the country, out of the city, because there, when traveling to Mongolia, we do a lot of off-road driving, so we always recommend to have four-wheel drives. However, in the city, because the city is just like another city, we have paved roads, so we use buses in the city. And as mentioned before, we use internal flights whenever possible to long distance travel. Next important question is visa. Mongolia is visa-free for many countries, including for US and Canada passport holders, and also for majority of the EU countries. We're currently offering visa-free until end of 2026. One important thing that we really need to understand about traveling in Mongolia is gear camps, which is in Mongolian gear, but in English we call them yurts. Because Mongolian travel season is so short and so seasonal, we do not have big resorts or big buildings, hotels in the countryside. Instead, we use Mongolian yurts, which is the most suited type of accommodation in Mongolian weather. So, what are yurt camps, gear camps? They are a collection of yurts, and one yurt equals one room. So when you have one yurt, you're gonna be having one person or two persons staying in them. And the one interesting thing about is usually we do not have the bathroom inside the yurt. So you'll have to use a Western style shared bathroom facilities in a different building. However, nowadays we have a lot of camps offering upgraded version of yurts where you can pay a little bit more extra but have your private bathroom and shower facilities. Last slide about Mongolia travel fact is about Mongolian safety. Mongolia is considered a safe destination with low crime rates, and we were ranked 37th out of 163 countries according to the Global Peace Index in 2025. Regarding the food, we do have very heavy dishes with a lot of meat. However, if your clients are vegetarian or vegan, we can also cater to different dietary restrictions in Mongolia. Regarding the mobile and internet coverage, we have reliable internet and cell phone service in the cities and provincial centers. However, if you travel to remote areas of Mongolia, sometimes you have limited or no cell phone service in the remote regions. Lastly, Mongolia is a very welcoming and tolerant destination in terms of LGBTQ community. However, as Mongolians, we are usually reserved, so we do not have a lot of PDAs in general, regardless of your orientation. So we would we would kindly ask everyone to respect the local customs and culture. I would like to use the next 2 minutes to talk about two classic Mongolia itineraries. The first one is 7-day Gobi Desert tour. Gobi Desert is one of the top destinations in Mongolia. However, one thing to note is it is a seasonal destination. The yurt camps in the Gobi Desert does not open for the season until mid-May and they close by end of September. So if you have a client for visiting Gobi Desert, they should travel between May and September. For the day-to-day program, this is a 7-day program. It can be extended up to 9 days or 10 days. Day one, we arrive in the capital city, stay in a 3 to 5 star hotel. Day two, we take a day trip to nearby national park. Day three, we take a 1 hour domestic flight, go to the Gobi Desert, and spend the next 3 days visiting the main attractions of the Gobi Desert, including the Flaming Cliffs, visiting a nomadic family, trying camel riding, etc. On day six, we take a domestic flight back to the capital city, do a half-day city tour, and on day seven, we depart. The next itinerary that I would like to cover is 7 day and 6 night Central Mongolia tour. One advantage of this itinerary is this can be organized all year long, regardless of the month. So currently I'm showing the 7-day and 6-night itinerary, but this can be shortened to 6 days and 5 nights as well. So when we arrive in the capital city, we usually have 1 night in the city. Then day 2 is a city tour, and we see the giant Chinese statue, which is shown on the slide. On day 3, we travel to central Mongolia and visit the ancient capital park. On the way, we stop at the mini sand dunes. So this itinerary also provides a variety of different landscapes. Day 4 and day 5 are spent visiting the main attractions of the central Mongolia. And on day 6, we travel back to the city, finish our city tour, then stay in a hotel in the city, and day 7 is departure. Is Mongolia the right destination for your client? Sometimes it is hard to say. So here are some points that you could use when you're determining if Mongolia is the right fit for your clients. If they're looking for an authentic and off-beaten destination, or they're very comfortable with being outdoors or nature-based traveling, they're somewhat moderately active and adaptable travelers, or they're looking for a wildlife photography tours, then Mongolia is a right destination. Mongolia could be a right destination for your clients. However, if you have clients who are looking for a very high-end, ultra-luxury resort style accommodations for their traveling, then Mongolia, I'm afraid, is not a good fit for your clients. Thank you so much for joining my presentation today. I hope this was useful for you and you learned a little bit about Mongolia. If you ever have any questions about Mongolia, feel free to get in touch with us, and I look forward to welcoming everybody in Mongolia in the near future.
Just talking off camera that Mongolia is one of those countries again. When it comes to Asia, I'd love to be able to go to Mongolia. Along with pretty much everywhere else. I think we went through the whole list and decided, okay, yep, we want to go there as well.